Hey everyone, welcome back. Before Season 5 arrives, let's rewind and dive into Stranger Things Season 4, the darkest and most thrilling chapter yet. We'll cover the rise of the terrifying villain Vecna, Eleven's journey to regain her powers, Hopper's fight to survive in a Russian prison, and how the gang stories connect across Hawkins, California, and Russia. This recap will get you fully caught up and ready for what's next in Hawkins. So grab your snacks, hit like and subscribe, and let's jump into the full Season 4 recap.
Max is forced to confront her trauma over Billy's death, as her bottled-up pain resurfaces with the investigation into Chrissy's murder. The scene highlights the emotional toll Vecna's curse is taking on her, foreshadowing her vulnerability to the supernatural threat. Nancy and Robin discover a tabloid article about Victor Creel claiming a demon killed his family, and theorize the murders were Vecna's earliest attacks dating back to 1959. This revelation expands the scope of Vecna's history and links the Creel House to the present-day killings. Dr. Owens reveals to Eleven that Hawkins is in grave danger and asks her to come with him to a secret facility. He promises there is a way to restore her lost powers, but warns the process is risky and may separate her from her friends forever. Max reveals to her friends that she's experiencing the same symptoms as Chrissy and Fred: headaches, nightmares, and disturbing visions. She realizes with mounting dread that she's likely Vecna's next target and fears she only has one day left. Nancy and Robin impersonate psychology students to get an interview with the director of Penhurst Asylum, hoping to speak directly with Victor Creel. Their clever ruse sets up a pivotal moment to gain first-hand insight into Vecna's origins. Joyce and Murray arrive in Alaska to meet Yuri, the smuggler who will help them rescue Hopper. Their tense and quirky interaction with Yuri introduces the Russian storyline's next phase and foreshadows complications in their plan. Max visits her mother to deliver farewell letters to her family, fearing she won't survive Vecna's curse. But the encounter turns sinister as her mother morphs into a vision of Billy, confirming Vecna's psychological grip on her. Nancy and Robin finally meet Victor Creel in his cell and convince him to share his story. They explain that the evil he encountered may have returned to Hawkins, hoping his account will offer clues to stopping Vecna. Max reads a heartbreaking letter to Billy, expressing guilt and regret over his death and their broken relationship. This emotional confession is her attempt to find closure, but also sets the stage for Vecna's attack. Vecna traps Max in a nightmare vision, twisting her guilt and pain into a psychological torment. He tries to convince her that she wanted Billy to die, intensifying her sense of isolation and despair. As Max's friends desperately try to save her, Nancy and Robin realize that music helped Victor Creel resist Vecna's attack. They rush to play Max's favorite song, hoping it will serve as a lifeline to pull her out of the trance. In a tense moment, Lucas finds Max's favorite song and her friends place headphones on her. As Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill plays, Max struggles against Vecna's grip, reaching for the memory of her friends and her will to survive. Eleven is taken to the Nina Project facility and encounters Dr. Brenner, her papa, who promises to help restore her powers. This marks the beginning of Eleven's journey to reclaim her abilities through reliving her traumatic past. The Hawkins group explores the Creel House, following supernatural clues that suggest Vecna's presence is strongest in the attic. As they search for answers, tension mounts, hinting that they are closing in on Vecna's lair. Eddie Munson, still on the run and in hiding after being falsely accused of murder, contacts Dustin and the gang. They race to meet him at Skull Rock, highlighting the growing tension in Hawkins and Eddie's desperation. In Russia, Hopper learns from fellow prisoners about the monstrous Demogorgon kept by the Soviets. The group realizes they are being fattened up to fight the creature, raising the stakes and revealing the prison's sinister experiments. In the secret lab, Eleven hears a mysterious orderly recount his experiences with Owen, hinting at secrets Papa is hiding about the origins of the program. The orderly encourages Eleven to find her own strength through painful memories, foreshadowing major revelations. Steve and Nancy share a heartfelt moment as they discuss the pain Vecna's victims endured and the importance of supporting each other. Their renewed connection is interrupted by Dustin confirming they have found Skull Rock, which proves vital for their investigation. Jason, Chrissy's boyfriend, incites the Hawkins community by claiming Eddie leads a satanic cult responsible for the recent murders. His speech rallies a group of vigilantes, escalating the hunt for Eddie and the threat to the kids. Dustin discovers the compass is malfunctioning due to a strong electromagnetic field, suggesting the presence of a new gate to the Upside Down. The group realizes they might have found a way to reach Vecna and possibly save Max. At the lab, Papa conducts a brutal test on the children, warning them that emotion will lead to failure. 11 is forced to compete, showcasing the harsh and manipulative environment she is trapped in. Joyce and Murray hatch a risky plan to infiltrate the Russian prison by pretending to be prisoners. Murray will pose as Yuri, and the group prepares for a dangerous rescue attempt to save Hopper. Dustin and the others arrive at Lover's Lake, suspecting a gate might be hidden there. Steve, as the most qualified swimmer, volunteers to dive and investigate, pushing the plot toward a new upside-down incursion. Steve discovers the underwater gate, but is suddenly attacked and pulled into the upside down by monstrous bats. Nancy and Robin rush in after him, revealing the growing dangers and urgency to rescue their friends. After escaping the bat attack, Steve, Nancy, Robin, and Eddie realize the Upside Down is more hostile than ever. They are forced to flee through the woods, demonstrating the severity of Vecna's threat. In Russia, Hopper and Enzo reflect on their relationships with their children, expressing hope for redemption and survival. Their conversation deepens the emotional stakes as they prepare for the Demogorgon fight. Nancy, trapped in the Upside Down, notices her house is frozen in time, with clues pointing to the day the gate first opened. This realization sets up the group's plan to communicate and escape using Morse code and the house's lights. Vecna reveals his true identity to Nancy in a terrifying vision, recounting his childhood, murders, and transformation into the monster. His monologue connects the season's mysteries and foreshadows his plan to destroy Hawkins with multiple gates. 11 insists she must help her friends in Hawkins, despite Dr. Owens and Brenner warning her she's not ready to face Vecna. Her determination sets the stage for her leaving the facility and rejoining the fight. 11 attempts to leave the underground lab, but Brenner Papa tries to stop her, revealing his controlling nature. Their confrontation forces her to recognize his manipulations and choose her own path. After escaping a military attack, 11 is reunited with Mike and her friends. The emotional moment marks the group coming back together for the first time this season, right before the final battle begins. 11 realizes that Max is in grave danger and that the group must get to Hawkins immediately. This urgency sets the countdown. The Hawkins kids finalize their four-phase plan to defeat Vecna, with each member taking on a risky role. They reaffirm the importance of sticking to the plan, raising the stakes for the coming confrontation. Hopper, Joyce, and Murray decide they must destroy the upside-down particles in the Russian prison to help the kids in Hawkins. Their resolve to re-enter the prison and fight connects the Russian plotline directly to the climax. Max, now acting as bait, challenges Vecna to come for her, bravely dropping her defenses. This moment triggers Vecna's attack and the beginning of the season's climactic showdown. 11 and Mike share an intimate conversation in a pizza shop, expressing how much they've missed each other. Their heartfelt exchange reinforces the emotional stakes and their bond, just before the mind fight begins. Max confesses her guilt over her brother Billy's death, revealing her deepest emotional scars to Vecna. This vulnerability makes her the perfect target, and Vecna begins his psychological attack. Eddie makes the heroic choice to distract the Demobats alone, buying time for his friends. His self-sacrifice marks one of the most devastating moments of the finale. 11 enters Max's mind and faces Vecna directly, declaring she will stop him and protect her friend. Their psychic battle becomes the centerpiece of the season's climax. Mike encourages 11 to keep fighting, telling her she's the heart of the group and that he loves her. His words give 11 the strength to turn the tide against Vecna, showcasing the power of their relationship. Lucas desperately tries to save Max as she succumbs to Vecna's attack, begging her to hold on. The scene is heart-wrenching as Max's fate hangs in the balance, and the fourth gate opens, unleashing chaos on Hawkins. News reports detail the aftermath. A massive earthquake strikes Hawkins, with many dead and missing. The town reels from the destruction, setting up the consequences of Vecna's victory and the cliffhanger for Season 5.